Hey y'all, it's Bennett, and back again for another pickups video. That's right, yesterday was yard sale day, and I got out early in the morning and got out there and hit the sales. And as predicted, with the turning of the weather a little bit, and becoming more fall-like, the yard sales were much more plentiful this week than they have been over the course of the summer and all that, because it is way too hot out here most of the time through the summer for people to get out and, sit in their driveways all day and cook while they try to sell their junk. So, yeah, tons of sales yesterday, including, several around in my town and a whole community in like the next town over that put on a multi-house sale that went for several miles, and they even had scavenger hunt things, and you could go fishing at one of the houses and all this stuff. So they're really making the most of it. But so I probably hit 10 sales there, maybe more, just from that community, and 5 or 6 more. I don't know. Maybe I hit as many as 20 sales. I don't know. It was a lot. But did I do okay? I sure did, because there were deals to be had. And so let's take a look at what I found. In the first sale that brought me any success was part of the big community multi-family sale thing, and I guess I was the first person to show up at this particular one. I was actually the first person to show up at a few of them because I got out there a lot quicker than I thought I was going to, so I had to apologize for being an early bird. But at this one particular sale, I saw nothing video gamey, except there was one arcade joystick kind of thing that was for iPads, and it was one of those iCade things, I think. And so I saw that and I was like, hey, look at that thing, you guys have any other video games? And they said, oh yeah, wait a minute, that's fine. And so they looked around and dug around their stuff, and they found a box that they were trying to pull out to set up that had a big stack of Wii games in it. And I was like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. And the person said, and you know what else? We have a whole ton of video games down in our basement that we hadn't thought about bringing out, but maybe we'll consider those. So, score. So looking through the Wii games, it was mostly, there was a lot of the knockoff party game kind of things, Game Party 1, Game Party 2, some other, a lot of stuff that I already had. Really going to stack where the second best game was the Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer. So not a great stack of games, but it did have on top a copy of Wii Sports, and that's always a good pickup. So I went ahead and grabbed a hold of that, and then joined the owner on a trip down to the basement to take a look at what other game stuff they had there. And there they had a PS2, an original Xbox, PlayStation 1, and several games for each of those systems, plus some extra Xbox 360 games and all sorts of stuff like that. And I started revving up my engines on those, and they also had a Wii. And so my first thought was, well, would you take $80 for everything you got? And the guy's like, nope, no way. So cool. It turns out I'm kind of glad I didn't come home with everything they had, because a lot of it was going to be hard to flip items that I don't need for the collection, so not really doing me a whole lot of good. But instead I just dug through what they had and made a stack of things I was interested in, and we came to a price on what they would accept for that. So let's get started. First things first is the Wii. Now I have a bunch of Wiis and so on, but this one, the guy told me was jailbroken and had loads of games on it and was all ready for other, mods and stuff like that. So, score. I've been looking for a modded jailbroken Wii and found one. So it came with the, all the cords and stuff that you would expect. No controllers, come to think of it, but all the cords, and this intercooler fan to keep this puppy ice cold. I'm sure that works great. But yeah, I'm excited to open it up and power it on and see what's on there and how I can piece it into my collection. So also in the collection of accessories and so forth that I made a stack of, we had, reaching for it down here, not that. We had an original Xbox controller. This one is blue, or I guess I should say original Xbox controller S, small version, which is the best of the original Xbox controllers. I think I already have a blue one, but it was better than just a regular black one, so that's cool. And what else? Was there any other? Oh, I guess there was this DualShock 2 sealed in its container. So that's pretty cool. I actually already have one of these as well. So either this will also go up on the shelf, or I'll sell it, or sell the one I already have, or whatever. But yeah, it is pretty cool to find like new old stock sealed controllers and that sort of thing. So I thought this was a pretty cool little pickup. So DualShock 2 still in the box, $25 back in the day from Kmart. Nice. And finally, accessory wise, we got one of these here Namco Pistols. This, I believe, is for the PS1. I have a good reason to believe this, and I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, it is, has the little video pass through, and of course, it's only compatible with tube TVs, which is fine because I have a tube TV, so I can get my shoot on some PS1 games, which I have a few PS1 shooters, but this is my first light gun for that system, so I was very excited to pick that up. It's not that Konami had the Justifier. I don't know. If you remember what the Namco pistol was called, let me know. Because, yeah, that was pretty cool. And let's see. Well, now we'll move along to the games. Like I said, I stacked up a good little stack of them and came to a price. My total expenditure on all this was $72, which was supposed to only be $70, but they didn't have any enough change to make that happen, so I only got $8 back in change from my 80. It happens. So $72 is more than I would want to spend like normally on a Wii. I'm not trying to spend a lot on Wiis or these kind of games or anything, but because it's a modded Wii and I'm going to actually keep it for the collection and that sort of thing, 72 was a decent price, like a decent price to keep. Not a great price for flipping, but a decent price to keep. So we'll start on the games here. Here's the aforementioned Wii Sports, and it's complete. And the fine folks that I got these from actually, took care of their discs, so like they're not shredded like so many you find at yard sales and thrift stores and so on. So that was a big plus. All right, I'm gonna carefully throw that over there. And then we had Medieval 2 for the PlayStation. I've never played any of the Medieval games. This is the first one I've come across in person to get, so here we are. Medieval. And then we have Time Crisis, which Time Crisis 1 for the PS1, and that of course is what the gun pointy shooty thing is made for. And this is a Namco game and a Namco gun. So yeah. Wait, does it say? It doesn't. Oh, it doesn't say what it's called on the back. Oh yeah, GunCon. There it is. So yeah, can you see that? GunCon. So now I know. And yeah, and the rest of it I made up a big stack from mostly Xbox and Xbox 360 games. And I got a, sorry, noisy. Here we go. Crinkly bag. I apologize for that. All right. We have Outlaw Golf, 9 More Holes of Christmas. This is a Xbox exclusive, and it's complete. I think I have the regular Outlaw Golf, but I don't have any of the extra games that they made, like the add-on expansion games like that. So that's the first one of those. Here we have Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the Wii. Unfortunately, no disc. So that's a bummer. I'm hoping that this is actually in the system. So keep your fingers crossed. I already have this, and hopefully the disc will be in there and I'll be able to sell it and get some of my money back. Try and make this as close to free as possible. Speaking of things that I already have and could be sold, we have Outrun 2 only on Xbox, and this is also complete. So yeah, I have a copy of this. Unfortunately, this isn't Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast or whatever it's called, which is like one of the most rare and sought after games on the Xbox. But this one is still does pretty well. It's possible that my copy of this is even game only. So bare minimum, I now have a complete copy and have at least the disc, if not another complete copy to sell and get some of my money back. Yeah, because that it doesn't sell like for a huge amount of money, but like $20 or something like that. It's pretty good for an Xbox game, like a random Xbox racing game. Then we have Adventure Time. Explore the dungeon because I don't know. And that's for the 360, and it does not have a manual. I don't know if it's supposed to. I guess it probably is because 360 games usually did. But nevertheless, I didn't have that, nor did I have Adventure Time Finn and Jake Investigations. I do not know the first thing about Adventure Time, so maybe I'll become a huge fan based on just those games, and then I'll learn everything there is to know. Or maybe not. Then we have Chaotic Shadow Warriors. I feel like I saw something about this recently, but I don't know. Yeah. In a interworld where tribes battle for supreme control. And Xbox 360 family games. So I guess it's a family game. And it's complete. Look, there it is, the manual. Then we have Pac-Man World 2 for the original Xbox. I'm pretty sure I already have this, but that's cool. Yep, I can bundle it together with some other Xbox games to sell again, including Grabbed by the Ghoulies. And that is also complete. I know I already have this, but first of all, this one's labeled not for individual sale, so I guess this probably came in a Xbox bundle back in the day. And yeah, this pretty good game. I already have a copy, and so I'll get the best looking one and keep it, and sell the additional copies, and maybe bundle them together with like Pac-Man World or whatever, and get some money back. Okay, moving on, we got Bloodwake, and that's complete for the Xbox. I did not have this. I thought it did, but it didn't. It's about a blood wake. That's what that is. Sponge Robert Square Pantaloons, and this is Lights Camera Pants. I don't have this one already on the Xbox, I don't think. And then we had, I thought this was interesting, Phantasy Star Universe. I did not actually know this was the thing. I'd played Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2 on the Dreamcast back when they were new, and that was fun. I don't know, is this direct sequel to that, or is it more like the original Phantasy Star kind of things? I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, Phantasy Star Universe for the Xbox 360. And then we have Rainbow Six 3 Black Arrow, which I did not have before. And that's complete for the original Xbox. And close it back up. Oh, come on. Whatever. Finally, from there, we had Family Guy Back to the Multiverse. And this one is missing the manual, but it's for the 360. And there you go. Family Guy. So yeah, that was a pretty good haul of games and a cool new modded Wii that hopefully will be lots of fun to play. And as I was paying up and getting everything gathered together to head to my car, the lady said, "Hey, maybe do you want this item here?" And I was like, well, I don't really know what it is. I mean, it's cool looking, and I could tell that it had something to do with the Wii, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. Anyway, she was like, "Oh yeah, it just goes on the balance board," and I was like, "Of course, that makes perfect sense." And so she just gave it to me. So add that into the $72 expenditure. It is a Rob Deer deck. I've been saying dry deck for as long as I knew this person's existence. The Rob Deer deck skateboard with the cool alien, and it clips to the Wii balance board, and you can play all of your skate and snowboard themed games that involve the balance board on a fancy Rob Deer deck skateboard. This is like, I mean, it's like wood, it's like skateboard, material, and it's got the right surface and everything. So this isn't, cheap and stupid like the Tony Hawk Ride board that I've recently picked up. That's actually a pretty cool little accessory. So I'm probably not going to ever try it out myself because I don't want to, snap it in half. But nevertheless, I thought that was pretty cool, and she just was like, "Take it since you got the Wii anyway, so whatever." So all right, that was a cool bunch of pickups, and if that was all I got that day, it would have been plenty. But nevertheless, we pressed on and got some more stuff. So at another sale, they had some DVDs, and so always look in the DVDs because you may very well find some games, and that was the case here. And they wanted $3 a game. I tried to get them for $2 a game, and we ended up getting them 5 games for $12, so that's not too bad. But they are Dragon Age Inquisition on the PlayStation 3. This is sealed, except it's not, so that's a bummer. It's like, it doesn't matter. I don't really care about sealed games, but I'm pretty sure I don't have this for the collection, so anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll just open it right up anyway. But big ol', if it was sealed, it would not be really sealed, but whatever. Dragon Age Inquisition, I think I already have it. Maybe I already have it for the 360, but didn't have it for the PS3, so glad to take it home. Also, we got Army of Two Devil's Cartel Overkill Edition, and that is, I guess, missing a manual? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't have a manual. But, yep, for the 360. I had the other Army of Two game, so that goes along with there. Similarly, we have Overlord 2 for the 360. I have Overlord 1, so now I have Part 2. These games are supposed to be pretty cool. You can summon all sorts of minions, and it's like a strategy RPG, maybe action strategy. I don't know. You can get your little minions to slaughter innocents and dominate or destroy. All the things I like to do. And then we had, I was surprised I didn't have this, but Fable 3, which I didn't have. Y'all know about Fable. Big in-depth RPGs. There we go. So now I have, I guess, all the Fable games. Do I have Fable 1? I think I have all of them. And finally, we had, moving on, Saints Row 4 for the Xbox 360, Commander-in-Chief Edition, whatever that means to you. And, yeah, so it is complete, I guess, and does it have a manual? Yeah, anyway, complete-ish, and Saints Row 4 is a fantastic game, so lots of fun. I've already, played through it on the Xbox One version, so I'll never actually play through this particular one, but I didn't have it in the collection, so glad to get it for the low price of somewhere between $2 and $3. And my final yard sale score was not too big a deal, but I ran across a person who had a lot of DVDs, and they were just random stuff for sale, and he and I talked for quite a while about all sorts of different things. But anyway, he had a few games for sale just sitting out, and they were obviously purchased from what is that place? Some such place. But they were pre-owned but sealed up kind of things. So I knew they weren't new or anything, obviously, and so did he. Anyway, I got these 2 for $5, so I was happy to pick them up. We have Geometry Wars 3 for the Xbox One. I've played Geometry Wars games before. I'm not very good at them, but they're cool. And yeah, so it appears to be sealed, but it is not, because it says it's not here. But that was cool, and I picked out of a little pile of 3DS games Tenkai Knight's Brave Battle, which I know nothing about, but it was another 3DS game to add to the collection. There we go. And the other games were like Paddington and I don't know, there were some other, everything he had were games that I have seen at places like Five Below and stuff like that are clearly clearanced from various other sources and so on. So same deal here. Yeah, this was like a Family Dollar thing. You can see right there, Family Dollar. All right, so that was yard sailing. It was lots of fun. I was out all morning long and talked to all sorts of fun people and got all sorts of cool games. But before we headed back to the house, I swung by some thrift stores, and at the first one I looked through a bunch of games. They had a surprisingly large game selection, and so this is a store I used to go to daily, because I used to work on that side of town, but now I don't, and so I hardly ever get down there. And that may be why they had a bunch of games, because I wasn't there to pick them up. But anyway, they had a whole bunch of games, most of which I don't need, because I already have them, and they're not super good reselling kind of games, especially not at $4 a piece, which is their flat game price. But there were a couple that I wanted to go ahead and pick up, even though they were not Color of the Week. And I'll be back on Blue Week to try to see if I can get some of those other ones for half price. And they had some Wii U games that I considered, but I had most, if not all of them. And they had a copy of Pikmin 3, and I was like, sweet, that's a good one to pick up and flip. Because again, I have 2 copies actually of Pikmin 3, and lo and behold, it had Skylanders or something like that inside instead. So that was a bummer. But I picked up 2 games, $4 a piece. We got Final Fantasy XI Online, Vanadael Collection 2008. However, y'all know how to say that. I don't. I have never played any of the Final Fantasy Online stuff. This just seems to put all the expansions and whatever all into one disc. Includes the original game plus 4 additional expansion packs. So yeah, I don't have any particular desire to do Final Fantasy Online, but if I did, now I have the disc for it, and it'll, it's just cool looking, good shape kind of game, and it's complete. So yeah, picking that up. And also, and this was funny, I happened to be listening to an episode of Not the Expert on YouTube, on his trying out of ESPN 2K5 from back in the day on the PS2, which was the last 2K like NFL license game that gave Madden a run for its money, and everybody thought, well, 2K is going to take the crown from Madden, and that's when Madden got their got their NFL like exclusive license for in perpetuity, because they were scared of this game. So yeah, I was listening to Not the Expert playing that game, and lo and behold, ran across ESPN 2K5 on PS2, and so I thought, this is fate or something. So, yep, this is still got the little sticker up here, but obviously it's not sealed, but it is complete and it's pretty good shape. I have it for the Xbox, but I was surprised to find I didn't already have it for the PS2, so brought it on home, and I'm looking forward to trying out some 2K5 for myself, because everybody says it's brilliant. So that was one place. I went to another, like a Goodwill, and looked around a little bit and only found, well, nothing in the majority of the store, but I got to the back and I saw something on the shelf, and I was like, excuse me, to a person that was standing nearby, and they nicely moved on out of the way, and I reached up and grabbed the 2 items off the shelf, and they were sealed not sealed, but in-box Wii remotes. And, just a little box about, yay tall and that wide, and yeah, 2 of them. And they wanted like $7 a piece for it, and I was like, sweet. I already have one of those, but, the more the merrier. And so I was like, sweet, I can get me a score today. And I pulled them off the shelf, and I was looking them over to see what the price was and everything, but I had them ready to go. And the guy that I asked to scooch over said, hey man, I was looking at those. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, I was gonna get those. And I was like, okay, but I have them right here. And he's like, yeah, I was waiting for, and he pointed to, I think it was his mother, who was bringing up a cart, and he was like, yeah, I was trying to get her to come up here so I could put them in the cart. And I was like, oh, okay, but I got them off the shelf. They were just sitting there on the shelf, and I got them. And he was like, yeah, but I was getting those. And I was like, how about we split them? So 2 of them, hand you one, take me. And he was like, I ain't trying to split them. So I just kind of let it slide, and I handed them over to him, and I just left because I didn't need them. I already have one. It's the principle, though. Come on, people. If you are going to get something off the shelf, get it off the shelf. If it's on the shelf and somebody else picks it up, don't get all. Don't be surprised when you lose out on your little item there. So I don't know. Let me know. Was I in the wrong? Was I in the right? I contend that I had the moral high ground, and furthermore, I had the nobility high ground by giving them on to this person and going about my day. But it really kind of threw a damper in my disposition. I was like, stupid thing. And I was, thinking of all the things I should have said, or, so that really irked me.
Serenity now!
But I don't necessarily believe in karma, but I think, karma proved me right, because the next store or thrift shop I went to, I was able to get a copy of Wii Sports for the yellow color of the week, so half price. So I got a Wii Sports. It's missing a manual, but I actually think I have an extra manual for $2. So there. So yeah, I found a game that I can turn around and so on. So I took that as a sign that I had done the right thing, and I could just take this home and instead. And while I was at it, I picked up 2 more video game guidebooks that I've had my eye on for several weeks, but I've been waiting for them to go color of the week. And that would be SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 and WWE 13 Prima guides. I am not into these games. I think I have this one, I'm pretty sure, for one system or another, and I think I have 14, not 13, downloaded on the Xbox. I'm not into those games, but I am into video game guides and getting those for $1 a piece, because they were normally $2 a piece and it was half price. Anyway, yeah, so that was a good time to get them for $1 a piece. All right, I think that's it. Thank you for sticking with me the whole way. I really appreciate everybody who's been watching and liking and commenting and all that good stuff. So keep it up, and I will keep coming at you with more pickup content and more gameplay if I can get that managed, and so forth. And oh, by the way, happy October. It's spooky month officially. I mean, every month is spooky month for me because I'm a huge horror fan. But nevertheless, I'm now sporting my, I hope you weren't too scared, I'm now sporting my spooky character shirt from the Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. Alas, I did not actually get to go, but my loving wife picked this up from the Universal shop at the City Walk thing when she went down to a convention in Orlando. So, score for me. Has all sorts of cool people on it. Michael Myers and Bride of Frankenstein and Casper the Friendly Ghost. Terrifying. And Frankenstein's monster and all that good stuff. So yeah, welcome to Spooky Month. Hopefully I'll even have some spooky content coming out the rest of the month. And the only way to find out is to keep watching the videos. So subscribe and get those notifications. I love it when YouTubers say that. Ring that bell. Whatever. But thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.